Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics on the Hindu's YouTube channel. This is a show where we go behind the news on stories making the headlines in domestic politics. I'm Nistula, Hebbar, the political editor of The Hindu. Now, last week I missed out on recording the show as I was traveling in Maharashtra, which is seeing one of the most complicated elections in its history, with two Shiv Senas, two NCPs, BJP, Congress, and sundry other parties. Now, this episode of Talking Politics, therefore, will be about what I saw during my sojourn there and some of the themes that have arisen out of the polls. As I said before, these elections have been preceded by the splitting of both the Shiv Sena and the Nationalist Congress Party, and a binary of 6 parties in 2 alliances. The Mahayuthi, which consists of the BJP, the Shiv Sena led by Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, the Nationalist Congress Party led by Ajit Pawar, and the Maha Vikas Aghadi, which has the Congress, the Nationalist Congress Party Sharad Pawar, and the Shiv Sena led by Uddhav Thackeray. Along with it is the Raj Thackeray-led Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi led by Prakash Ambedkar, and the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin, AIMIM, and scores of rebels and independents who have further complicated the field. Now, the splitting of the 2 parties, the Shiv Sena and the NCP, have also added the piquant situation of a grudge match between the 4 parties, which is the real Shiv Sena and the NCP. The legal battle for the symbol and the party name notwithstanding, the real authentication in a democracy can only flow from the will of the people. And therefore, this is an election where authenticity of ideology is ironically to be determined in the midst of much opportunistic toing and froing that happened post the 2019 Assembly polls. Now, how does one overcome a crowded, fragmented field? Actually, this was the main question that is in the minds of most of the major political parties, because this is an election like no other in Maharashtra. So they say that Maharashtra is 5 states and 1 big state. One is, of course, the Mumbai MMR Konkan region. Then you have Western Maharashtra, where the Pawar family is strong. Mumbai, Maharashtra, etc., Konkan, etc., is where the 2 Senas are going head to head. There is Vidarbha, which has the maximum number of BJP versus Congress direct fights. Then you have Marathwada, where the Maratha reservation agitation has led to a cleavage between the Maratha community and the OBCs, who may or may not coalesce or mobilize in such a huge degree, unitedly mobilize, like, say, the Maratha community. So there are those worries for the BJP there. And you have North Maharashtra seats as well, where also BJP does fairly well. So there are 5 kind of different political formations, in the middle of which there are these split parties, confused loyalties, because till 2019 or even 21, when you have one set of people sitting with another set of parties moving to another alliance, there is a lot of confusion in the minds of the people. So how do you overcome that? That is actually the million-dollar question. Who will be able to have a overarching message which kind of transcends all these divisions and fragmentation? Now, for the Mahayuthi, the answer seems to be in carving out a vote bank of women via benefits. Now, the Ladki Bahin scheme, it is reaching out to 2.5 crore women who have got at least 2 or 3 installments of rupees 1,500 per month cash transfer benefit income support scheme from the state government. I found that there was much joy among women beneficiaries, even among sections which were not traditional supporters of the Mahayuthi, quite in the manner of Madhya Pradesh during the 2023 polls. For the Mahayuthi, this way of consolidating a vote bank over and above caste and community cleavages seems to be the way forward. The Maha Vikas Aghadi, on its part, is, I think, looking at the Chhattisgarh 2018 model, where it broke the rule of a 15-year-old rule of the BJP and came to power on the backs of agrarian distress and the promise of a bonus for paddy crops in that state. They said, if we are elected, we will give you this much of bonus. And that kind of really energized the countryside, farmers, OBCs especially, large chunks of OBC peasants, and they voted for the Congress in large numbers. So this time around, in fact, just on Thursday, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has announced that rupees 7,000 per quintal of bonus will be given to soya-bean farmers who are pretty embattled and pretty irritated because the bonus or the money that they have gotten has not changed significantly. There's been a stagnation in terms of the money that they have got from the state government for procurement of their crops. So 7,000 per quintal bonus is a step up, and the MVA is trying to harness this agrarian distress in the Maharashtrian countryside. There is agrarian distress among onion farmers, soya-bean farmers, and cotton farmers. So you have the Ladki Bahin versus agrarian distress. These are two overarching, women and farmers, two overarching categories that these two alliances are hoping will take them across the finish line on the 23rd. Now, the Lok Sabha elections results of 2024 showed that there was a huge minority consolidation behind the Maha Vikas Aghadi, and that caste groups have voted as per their traditional choices and along the cleavages raised by the Maratha reservation agitation as well as the Samvidhan Khatre Mein Hai campaign. And if you recall, there was a talk that the BJP is constant invoking, saying we want to go beyond 400 seats to make big changes in the country, and the way it is run was interpreted by the opposition, and in fact also helped by certain statements by BJP ministers and leaders stating that these big changes would relate to ending of reservations for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So marginal communities had these anxieties and voted with the MVA parties, at least in Maharashtra. So all of these themes were there in the 2024 Lok Sabha election. Now, looking at it, the BJP on its own has been trying to consolidate its Hindutva vote bank via the katenge to batenge ya ek hain to safe hain slogans. This is because they are facing headwinds in Marathwada, where the Maratha agitation is in full force for reservations. The BJP usually gets support from the OBC communities, but these are scattered communities, not always consolidated as one block. So there is a merit, so to speak, in trying to invoke Hindu consolidation there. Also on Samvidhan Khatre Mein Hai, an appeal to marginalized communities. On Katenge to Batenge, saying there is no threat to the constitution except if Hindu society kind of fragments and votes differently, then what you will get is a communally polarized situation where the minorities have a certain amount of power that they can exercise over you. So these are the anxieties that are also being played at by the BJP. Now, the BJP's own allies have found that to be a little difficult to implement, as caste cleavages still run deep, especially in Marathwada, as I said, and in Vidarbha, while minorities tend to consolidate sooner. Now, BJP allies who are hoping that the Asaduddin Owaisi-led AIMIM and the Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi would cut into minority and Dalit votes are jittery that such slogans may reverse that trend, that minorities will again consolidate behind MVA, and these two parties may not get, or marginalized, of course, and that these two parties will not get their share of the votes, therefore flattening the field. So a meta-narrative apart from the Pawar versus Pawar and Thackeray versus Shinde grudge match is the fact that since 2019, the political field in the state of Maharashtra has seen so much of opportunistic politics, splits, and crossing over to unlikely allies that what we are now witnessing is a post-ideology election, when ideologies of parties are subsumed to local loyalties, election management tricks, and benefits accruing from the government and promises made by political parties. It is now entirely up to the people of the state to provide clarity to the political field, whether ideology is important or charisma of individual leaders or the appeal of benefits creating a whole new vote bank. For India's financial hub, the 2024 Assembly polls are crucial and a reckoning, not only to elect a new government, but to settle the confusion that grew out of the post-poll split within the Shiv Sena and the BJP when they were originally part of the Mahayuthi, and establish for some time at least a clarity missing from the state's politics. Results for the Maharashtra Assembly polls will be out on November 23rd. I will return then to talk about what the new government looks like after that. For this week, however, this is all I have. I have tried very hard to kind of explain the election that is happening in Maharashtra to you. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. This is all I have this week.